Hey guys, what's up? It is currently 5:40 a.m. and this is going to be a full day of eating video to show you how. So there's this continuous glucose monitor thing that I'm trying out by a company called Levels. I explained it in the last video, but I want to go through like all the nitty-gritty details of how it works today and kind of physically show you how it tracks your glucose along with every activity that you do, all the food that you consume. So it takes in all of the factors that can affect your glucose levels. It's not just like, oh, I'm monitoring your glucose right now, and it's basically it's collecting as much data as possible so it can be accurate and actually useful. So I am sitting down for breakfast right now, and this is my usual. So what I do at this point, I take out the Levels app and I hit the little add button, take a picture of my food, like so, and then I enter in all the details, so waffles, banana and whey and PB Fit, and then it has the timestamp, and I hit save. So now at this point, my food for this thing right here, it's going to be, oh, you can't see anything. So my food right here, it takes 2 hours for you to give you like a food score for your meal. But so far, this is my first meal of the day. I will also track, this video is already a shit show. So it's, I'm also gonna track like my coffee because I put almond milk and coconut milk in there. So anything that goes into my mouth, I'm putting in here. Any activity that I do, I'm logging in here. But I'm gonna wake up a little bit and then I'll explain things a little bit more. It's early, I'm an early bird, but I'm not used to like talking to anybody when I wake up. So it's a gloomy day outside, which is kind of a bummer. Whoa, okay. I'm also very butterfingers today. So it's gloomy, which is weird because it's been so sunny and kind of hot. But yeah, I'm kind of digging the cooler weather. I'm not just sitting here sweating. I'm gonna eat this and get some work, and I will see you in a bit. So before I go anywhere else in this day, I want to make sure that I clarify all the things about this CGM, continuous glucose monitor, that I am wearing, just so there's no questions or confusion. So I want to go over first the accuracy of this, and I want to clarify that this measures my glucose levels through the interstitial glucose levels. So that is the fluid. It takes your glucose levels from the fluid between your cells versus the blood glucose levels that they take if you like prick your finger or through a blood test. So these two things are different, yes. It is not as accurate as the blood glucose test. However, they do correlate, and the biggest thing that you can take away from this is that you can still see the trends in your blood glucose. So it's not something that you want to make a diagnosis off of. It's why when you check your glucose levels in the app, if you are diabetic, it tells you to prick your finger or take a blood glucose versus the interstitial before you make any sort of decisions with, giving yourself insulin or eating something or anything along those lines. So just to clear that up, you're correct. It is not the most accurate form of measuring your glucose levels. And on to the next thing, the data that is collected. If I were to be wearing this thing without noting my food intake, my exercise intake, along with the time of day, I wouldn't know how my body is responding to all these things. So that's why in the Levels app, not only can you record your food and exercise, but it timestamps it for you as it's reading your glucose levels. and I can take a picture and be specific, and that way I can watch how it trends and see how to manipulate it. Or if I eat a high carb meal, I can learn how to like mitigate the effects of the glucose spike by going for a walk, because I can see how exercise affects my glucose levels as well. So all of the data that is collected is very helpful to have. This would be completely useless if it wasn't for all of that. So that's why I kind of want to show you how exactly it works, so that you can understand that I'm not just wearing this and like not documenting anything. I'm collecting as much data as possible and making the best use of it. So another thing I want to address is, this is to optimize how you use your carbs in diet. This is not to demonize carbs. I have always been a proponent of a balanced diet, not, taking carbs out of your diet. Keto has like its therapeutic effects for some populations. It has been effective for folks with diabetes, but it's not something that I feel like everyone needs to do. I just want to see how I can optimize my health, because it's something that is my main focus right now. And with COVID-19 and everything, like seeing the high risk of, metabolic diseases, it's just something that's been on my mind. And I like to do this type of stuff. I find this stuff really interesting, and that's why I'm doing it for myself. I'm always about trying to find a healthier way, or what is optimal for me. And I like doing this, so that's why I'm doing it. But yeah, it helps me see, like, my breakfast this morning, for example. I might want to do it differently from now on, because it's showing that the first thing when I wake up, it's probably not great to have carbs unless I'm going to go work out afterwards. So if I don't plan on working out right after I have those carbs, I should probably keep the carbs until right in front of my workout, or work out sooner, earlier, right after I eat, and keep those blood sugars a little bit more steady. So it's just a way for me to see how I can improve things. Prevention. I want to make it clear, when I talk about prevention, I am not talking about type 1 diabetes. Type 1 is completely different. It is not related to lifestyle choices. Literally, you just don't produce insulin. Your pancreas is dead. It's not something that you did. It is not caused by any sort of outside factor from your choices in diet and exercise. And then there's type 2. That's what I'm talking about when I talk about prevention. Type 2 diabetes. Your pancreas might still make insulin, but you are insulin resistant. These are more so due to unhealthy diet and exercise, lifestyle related choices. And this is the thing that you can really kick in the butt right now and prevent if you're not there yet. And it can also be reversed. So don't think that if, just because you have type 2, that it's going to be something that you're stuck with forever, especially if it's kind of new to you. I had someone on my channel a couple weeks ago who reversed her type 2 diabetes because she lost weight, and she's off all medication for that, so there's hope with that. But yeah, that is kind of the basis of everything that I wanted to touch on. I think I covered everything, but if you have any more questions, of course, feel free to leave them down below. Okay, so it's now about 9:35, and it's been some time since I had breakfast. I'm going to check my blood sugar, and I'm about to work out. I wanted to go for a walk, but it's raining, so maybe I'll do that later if it stops for a second. Okay, so currently my glucose is 85. It is within range. I'm going to go to the app here and kind of show you. It rated my breakfast. See, it's got to sync up for a second. Catch up, refresh. Let's do this. Okay, so currently, let's see if you can see this. My blood sugar spiked up the most after breakfast, and because of that, it rated my meal as a 3. So it kind of rates your meals. As you can see, like yesterday's dinner was an 8, and it's in the green because it didn't spike my blood sugar much, and it stayed pretty even afterwards. This morning, my breakfast is pretty carb heavy with the bananas, so it was kind of like, yo, it spiked a little bit it wasn't like out of range by any means, but it's kind of one of those things where it brings awareness of where you or how or when you use your carbs could be more beneficial. So if I would have worked out sooner after I ate my breakfast, my blood sugar wouldn't have spiked as high. But since, you know, I ate it like, what was it, like 5:40, and then now it's 9:30, and I haven't really done a whole lot, so I didn't do the best in controlling that. The one thing that I could have done better was probably just had like eggs and maybe like some veggies or something, and then before I worked out had a banana or something like that to, you know, kind of get the carbs in but keep the steady blood sugar. So yeah, I think what I'm about to do now is also have a kombucha, but I've been using that as my pre-workout lately, and then I'll work out, because I found that even kombucha, if I just drink it and like sit around, my blood sugar spikes up as well, and that's normal. Yeah, carbs will spike your blood sugar more so on their own than if you eat them with like fat and protein, and if you exercise afterwards. I'm not saying that the fluctuations are bad or that you're going to get diabetes if your blood sugar goes up because you eat, because everything is going to stimulate your blood sugar to spike after eating and stuff like that. It's just a matter of making sure that they don't stay elevated, that you're not having like huge spikes and then drops. So it's just trying to figure out how to control it better and fitting it into that ideal kind of steady zone. If it spikes, if it comes down a little bit, you know, slower instead of just dropping off, making you feel tired, that sort of thing. I'm gonna stop talking and I'm gonna get to a workout, and well, I'm gonna get my kombucha and then I'm gonna work out. So see you in a bit. Okay, so for lunch we have salmon, kale, and then sweet potato. And I am going to check my glucose before I eat. And the awesome part is, yes, it does scan through clothes. If I could find it. Where did I put it? There you are. Okay, so currently glucose is 76, within range still. We'll see what it's like after this. Can't forget to add it to my log. So picture, as you can see now, hopefully you can see this. Oh, okay. So every little dot here, all these dots are at any time I ever recorded exercise, text message, exercise or food or anything like that. So you can see all of the graphs. As you can see my breakfast right here. I see how my blood sugar spiked up. So we'll see how this meal fares. And I'm gonna eat because I'm hungry. See you in a bit. So it's dinner time. Here we are again, eating some food. I skipped making dinner or like showing you the cooking process because this video is gonna be too long at this point and you probably wouldn't have gotten to this point anyways. So just turkey avocado sauce that I just made. If you want the recipe, hi Carly. Just go to shityoulcook.com. Oh, and then it's on some cabbage and some bell peppers. So I'm gonna scan my glucose monitor right now to see where I'm at currently. I am at 77, so we're doing good there. Now I'm gonna log this food and see how this meal does as far as my glucose goes. Cool. So just inputted that into the app. It's gonna take a couple hours for me to get a grade for that one. Hopefully I will be awake by then to show you what it ends up giving me as far as how this meal reacts. So I'll let you know when that happens. Last meal of the day, this is my dessert. So powdered peanut butter, whey protein powder, and then some cashew butter in there. And this is kind of my usual after dinner dessert. I would normally end the vlog here, but I want to kind of show you my my grade that I get for the last meal, but I've got some time left until I'll be able to get that. So either, you know, I'll check in with you before I go to bed, or tomorrow if I fall asleep. Guess we'll see. Alright, so it's 8:30 and I'm an old man and I'm already getting ready for bed. I'm watching Intervention. Alright, so my dinner grade has finally popped up and I got an 8 for dinner, which is definitely improvement in comparison to let's see, my breakfast was a 4. So, whoa, come on camera, let's focus on my, no, okay. So, I improved this as the day went on with my meals. It'll be interesting to see how I can improve everything across the board moving forward. I will definitely be playing around with this a bit more. I am also learning and new to this process. It's only been a few days, so it's going to be fun to try to learn more and how I can keep my blood sugar, you know, a little bit more even kill throughout the whole day. It's a challenge to me. I feel like this is like a new quarantine challenge. How can I keep my glucose levels steady? So I'm up for it, and I'll take you along for the ride. But thanks so much for watching this video. It's different and kind of weird with, you know, the glucose monitoring stuff, but hopefully there's something for you to take away from it. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. Peace out. I'll see you next time.